Have you ever wondered how many images you see online are actually real, and how many are cleverly crafted fakes? In the vast digital universe we navigate daily, manufactured images have become alarmingly prevalent. With the rise of artificial intelligence, the creation of these visually deceptive contrivances is becoming more sophisticated and alarmingly realistic. AI-generated images are not just for fun or artistic expression anymore. They're increasingly being used to deceive, to spread false information, to manipulate public opinion, and even to damage reputations. It's a new form of digital deception, one that capitalizes on our inherent trust in what we see. The potential harm from this trend is significant. False images can distort our understanding of the world, influence our decisions, and even destabilize societies by spreading misinformation. The stakes are high in this era of visual communication. So, how can we trust what we see online when AI is becoming so good at creating fake images? In order to identify fake images, it helps to understand how they are made. So let's dive into the technology behind AI-generated images. At the heart of this technology is a concept known as machine learning. Machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence that provides systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. It's like teaching a child to recognize different shapes. Over time, the child learns to identify the shapes on their own, without needing constant guidance. Now let's talk about deepfakes. This is another term you might have heard thrown around. Deepfakes are synthetic media in which a person in an existing image or video is replaced with someone else's likeness. It's named after deep learning, a type of machine learning, and fake. The technology uses neural network architectures known as autoencoders and generative adversarial networks, or GANs. Speaking of GANs, let's delve a little deeper into them. GANs are essentially a system of two neural networks, the generator and the discriminator dueling it out. The generator creates an image, and the discriminator evaluates it. The generator's aim is to create images so realistic that the discriminator can't tell they're fake. The discriminator's job, on the other hand, is to get better at distinguishing real images from fake ones. It's a constant game of cat and mouse, each trying to outsmart the other. The result? Extremely realistic images that can easily fool the human eye. These technologies are continuously evolving, becoming more sophisticated and more convincing. But remember, they are just tools. They are not inherently good or bad. It's how they are used that determines their impact. Understanding how these images are made gives us a better chance at identifying them. But what are the telltale signs? Identifying AI-generated images can be tricky, but there are some signs to look for. We're diving into the world where artificial intelligence can create hyper-realistic images, so it's essential to understand how we can discern the real from the unreal. Let's start with inconsistencies in lighting. In real life, lighting comes from a single source or direction. However, in AI-generated images, you might notice that the lighting seems to come from various directions, causing unusual shadows and highlights. This is because AI struggles to accurately mimic real-world physics of light. Next, let's talk about patterns and textures. Our world is inherently chaotic and imperfect, but AI has a tendency to over-perfect things. This often results in overly smooth textures or repetitive patterns, especially in areas like hair or backgrounds. If you zoom in and the texture of a shirt looks more like a painting than fabric, or if a patch of grass seems suspiciously symmetrical, it might just be an AI's handiwork. Speaking of perfection, it's time to look at facial features. Real people have asymmetrical faces, but AI-generated faces can often be too symmetrical. Also, look for inconsistencies in the details. The eyes might be slightly misaligned or the ears might not match. Even the teeth can be a giveaway. In real life, every tooth is unique, but AI often makes them unnaturally uniform. Now let's not forget about AI itself as a weapon to counteract these fakes. There are AI tools available that have been trained to spot these inconsistencies and identify AI-generated images. These tools analyze an image and highlight areas that are likely to be artificially generated, providing us with a powerful ally in our quest for truth. In a world where seeing is no longer believing, it's important to stay vigilant and question the authenticity of the images we see online. Because as AI continues to improve, the line between what's real and what's artificial will only continue to blur. So be curious, be skeptical, and remember to look beyond the pixels.